So one thing that is a little bit problematic here is that our component itself is doing a little bit too much work. Our component is making its Axios calls. It might be a little bit nicer if one of the things we could end up doing, and we're going to do this a couple of different ways here. We've got our dispatch method here, and what we're going to do is instead of having this component have to worry about Axios, start off with the home component. The other component's the exact same thing. But instead of having this component have to worry about Axios, what we're going to do is we're going to have another method. Instead of dispatching here and doing the work here, I'm going to have to redo some of this. But when we go to add a random person, let's go add random person from server. And we're going to actually pass in our dispatch method here, and I'll show you why in a second. And we can keep the name add random person, but this is going to be add random person from server. And I'm going to go back to my store, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have another method called add random person from server. And what this is going to end up doing, and notice I'm passing in a dispatch method here. So I've got the dispatch method from my store. Again, I've got my store here. I don't really need it, but I just want to show you something. What I'm going to end up doing here is I'm going to go and I'm going to have a person and I'm going to await that person. And here I'm going to use axios.post /API people. And this is going to be, again, getting the data here. And what I'm going to end up doing here, since I have my dispatch method, when I'm done here, I'm going to end up dispatching, and I'm going to dispatching by calling the add random person. So whenever I dispatch, I can only dispatch plain objects here, and now I've got this add random person from server, and I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to need to import Axios from Axios. And I'm going to end up exporting add random person from server. Let's just take a look. This should still at least work with our home component. Let's just take a quick look here. Again, our errors become a little bit easier to find once we use Webpack. But again, I'm told, hey, look, this needs to be marked as asynchronous. That message goes away. And again, on my home component, I should be able to use this. And let's just do the same thing so we're consistent here. Here's my home component. I'm doing add random person from server. Again, I'm still calling it add random person in the what I end up sending from map dispatch to props. But I'm going to go over here and just copy and paste this, since this is being used in two spots. And again, what am I doing here? Well, I'm having this component, both components, do a little bit less work. They're going to call some other methods. I don't need to have my components worry about Axios. And now, for both of these, they'll end up working. At some point, I should probably list out the people so I could see them. But the main thing that I want to sort of talk about here is the idea that there's less work going on in both people and home. And I'm able to concentrate my logic inside of my store. So if there's Axios things that are going on, I could sort of centralize them in one place, which is going to make it a little bit easier to organize my application.